So
Oh
here's
yeah.
what I want to do today. I have two primary objectives. Number one, this is a coaching call. So I want to help you uncover those patterns or habits that are keeping you stuck from where you could be. And
Okay.
the second one is to help give you clarity on how to close the gap from where you are to those outcomes that you are seeking. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. So, how about we just start? Give me a little background. What is it that you do? Where are you feeling stuck?
Well, we have, like I said, 38 employees. We've got 20, I think 22 trucks on the road. Um, and I've got two phones. Well, it was three. I had to drop one of them off because I couldn't answer three. It was driving me nuts. It's just hard for me sometimes to manage. You've got 38 sometimes complaints coming, hey, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, then meet your customers' needs and try to keep everything rolling with only a 7 day a week window. It seems like I need 20 days a week to get anything accomplished. And then my level of frustration, I get so frustrated so quickly. Like if somebody has a blowout, automatically, it just that just ruins my day. And I got to get over stuff like that. Stuff happens, but I'm like, golly, of all days, and then here we go. This added to this added to that type thing. It's just I'd like to get over some of that because it drives me crazy, and my partner drives him crazy. He said, "You lose your temper too easy about little things." I said, "I can't let little things go. Sometimes it's hard because I feel like I failed if one little thing happens and we're 20 minutes late, on a delivery. I failed that customer in my eyes. So
Okay.
if
So what I hear from you, the pain points is that you're emotionally reactive, frustrated, you have all these balls in the air, so it feels like you're constantly putting out fires and
yes,
it's too much.
yes,
Okay. So rate your stress 1 to 10, 10 being through the roof.
most days it's a 9 at least.
Okay. So
But
that's why
some of it
you're
I bring on myself too, though.
well, and that's why you're emotionally reactive because and I will share more about what this looks like with you, but right now I'm just trying to get surface level, what are your pain points? Because those think of those as like the feedback, your check engine light, but that's not what's actually happening. So I'm just trying to get from your mouth those pain points. So high stress, emotionally reactive, frustrated, and you're managing a lot. You have a lot of balls in the air.
Yes,
Okay. Is that a clear summary of where you're currently at?
yes,
How long have you been in this stage of life?
about a year.
Okay, so you've been going through this for a year.
Yes.
What have you tried to combat everything going on?
Well, we did hire a lady to help me with a bunch of the phone calls because I was having 80, 90 phone calls a day. We hired her to kind of manage some of that. We've hired our own mechanics. We were paying that out, and that was just stressful because of their schedule. And now we have 5 full-time mechanics that work just for us. That has helped. But some of the frustrations, this truck's down. I can't get parts for 3 days. So now we got to move on to plan B. Plan B won't work. Go to plan C. We've hired people, put them in place. It just sometimes I just can't let go, if that makes sense.
What can't you? Okay, so is that a need to control? So, time out. What I'm also hearing is you told me you're the COO, right?
Yes.
But it sounds like rather than you having people doing the work and delegating, you're trying to do all of it, which sounds
Yes.
like you have a need to control.
Well, it's just I want to be involved to make sure it gets done 100%.
Right, which means
Yeah.
like you don't rely on others to get the job done because you know how to get the job done right.
Yes. Because nobody's on my same speed. I want it done quickly. I move fast and I want everybody else to move just as fast as I do. But I know it's not always 100% the way that it should be.
Okay, so to get things done, you have been in the mentality and habits of needing to control and be a part of everything so it gets done in quotes, right.
Yes.
Okay. How's that working for you?
Horribly.
Okay. Well, at least we have some awareness and the ability to admit that, right?
Yes.
What? Okay, so you've been in this space for a year, high stress, needing control, but you also shared with me that you grew from 4 employees to 38. So this is massive growth, right?
Yes.
So some of this could be growing pains.
Yes, it is.
But also, if you don't have the right systems and structure and training in place, you're going to hit a point where you can't grow anymore. You're going to have high turnover and even more problems, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think is your number one priority right now that you need to get in place to help alleviate some of this?
Probably don't get so emotionally attached to every little thing because it's going to lead to another heart attack. And I really don't want to deal with that either.
What do you mean? You already had a heart attack?
I had one small one,
How old are you?
46,
Okay, so how old were you when you had that heart attack?
40.
Okay, 40-year-old had a heart attack. Ryan.
Yeah. It was very minor. It wasn't like it was a big deal, but
But think of
I was
that like,
able to.
have you ever heard the saying? I don't even know where I heard this, but years ago it was like, if we're not listening, if we're not paying attention, like life is always helping direct us, right? To kind of obstacles and challenges and setbacks, but we're always like being directed. If we're not paying attention, you're going to get a sign like a feather. If you're still not going paying attention, you're going to get hit with a brick. If you're
Yes.
still not paying attention, you're going to get hit by a Mack truck. And that's what sounds like happened at 40, but now 6 years later, well, life hasn't changed,
Not really.
right? The habits underneath, that stress, needing to control, the pressure, the urgency.
Yes.
Okay, so those sound like kind of your MO, right? Your mode of operation, stress, pressure, urgency, which I would also assume just comes from you wanting to do things right. You're a high achiever, get things done. So I'm not necessarily saying it's bad, but it's also creating a lot of internal chaos.
Yes.
What's your sleep like?
About 4 or 5 hours a night at the most.
Okay, so like you're not sleeping through the night, you can't fall asleep, it's interrupted. What do you mean?
I'll fall asleep, but I wake up during the night multiple times.
Because you're stressed.
Yeah, just wake up like, what's going on now? And I think of something. Oh man, I didn't get that done. Forgot to send that email. It's just, you
Okay.
know,
Okay, so this is good. I'm listening and getting more of your pain points. I want to do real quick, I want to pause before we go further. One thing I always do with clients, and the first step to creating change in your life is always awareness. So I want to walk you through a couple questions. It's called a life assessment. And all I want you to do is rate these life buckets 1 to 10. 10 being satisfied, wouldn't change a thing, versus 1 being complete end of the spectrum. Okay?
okay,
So just rate them 1 to 10. Your health, and we're talking physical, mental, emotional.
5,
Okay. Business, work, satisfied, happy.
7.
Even though you're high stressed and pressure and urgency and still 7.
No, probably honestly, probably a 10. Well, you said 10 is the highest or what?
But happy, satisfied,
Oh,
wouldn't change a
happy.
thing.
Oh, happy wouldn't change a thing. No, it'd be like a 2.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
a okay. Yeah, hopefully I'm clear.
Do
Your
that now
current,
you are. Sorry.
that's okay. Finances, money, how you feel about,
I'm happy with 7.
okay,
Finances.
so at least money's not a stressor.
I don't worry about money. I don't, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. Relationships. This could be romantic, familial, at work, friends, just kind of across the board relationships.
6.
Social life, hobbies,
I don't really have any. I guess I'd say a 2.
because you don't have a lot of free time, right?
Yes.
And do you have any short-term goals? Like, let's say in the next 6 months, something that you would like. to have, be, do, or experience?
Yes,
What?
for sure. I used to rope all the time, and since I'm getting older, I want to, before something happens, I want to get back into that. I
Okay.
mean, I've got the horses, I just haven't made the time to, you know, jump and go,
Okay.
you
So
know.
get back into roping is high priority.
Yes, yes,
Okay, awesome. So here's the point of the assessment, and I have this in front of me. Obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement, right?
yes,
The best area of life that you're currently at is finances, which is great because a lot of people have money stress, which then affects mental, emotional, relation. It affects everything. So at least that's okay. Your health, middle of the road because you're not sleeping in high stress. That makes sense. Anyway, so there's definitely room for improvement. What else do I want to ask you before we go into more of the coaching? Okay, so before I go more into like what's actually going on beneath the surface, if nothing changes how you're currently going through life, nothing changes, and we're having the same conversation 6 months or even a year from now, what will that cost you?
probably my life, I'm sure.
But like, explain what do you mean? What does that look like?
I mean, if they don't get rid of some stress and start letting some other people get in here and help and trust others, then I'll just be completely worn down and I won't have, I mean, won't have a reason to be around anymore, you know?
All right, so kind of like a burnout rock bottom.
Yes,
Okay, here's the other good news, I feel, Ryan. A lot of people get to where you're at, but it takes them 5, 6, even I've spoken with some 10 years of this grind and Groundhog Day before they want help. You've been in this space, well, for at least a year, potentially longer without you being aware, but at least a year. So at least you're not 5, 6, 10 years down the road trying to course correct, right?
yes.
If you could pinpoint or name, what do you think is the catalyst or like the number one problem?
Probably have zero patience with anything. I mean, I have none.
No
I
patience.
can't, I can't do anything without getting upset. Let's go. Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. That's how my life is. Like, it's hard for me to relax doing anything.
Okay.
I don't know if that answered the question correctly or not.
No, that actually, so let me do this now. What I want to do is I want to share my screen with you. You just shared a lot of pain points. And the reason I'm sharing my screen with you, can you see this fine?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want you to think of the current results where you're at in life. I want you to imagine an iceberg, and that's the picture we have in front of you. So the tip of the iceberg is, and those are the pain points I had you name. So the first step to creating change in your life is always awareness. And remember, that was the big objective. I want to help you discover the unconscious patterns that are driving the high stress, the impatience, not trusting others, need to control, all the kinks, right? So
Yes,
if we the tip of the iceberg is what you can see or what you're feeling day to day. So what I heard from you, and add to this if I've missed anything, but what I heard, the tip of the iceberg, the symptoms that you're aware of. You're impatient, you're high stress, emotionally reactive, frustrated, and emotionally attached, need to control to get everything done.
yes,
Okay. So those are all the pain points in the symptoms. But here's what I want you to know what's going on underneath all of that. And I'll explain what this looks like in just a moment. But underneath what's really happening, think about it like this. Your identity. We all have an identity, a self-image. I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. Things never work out for me. I can't trust anyone. But that self-image and our beliefs are what drive our habits and behaviors. So think about it like this. Life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The thoughts you have, the emotional states you live from, which drive your habits, create every result in your life. Let me actually just share this with you. This is what I refer to often as the thought cycle. So here's what I just said to you. Thoughts are the first domino in creating our results. So our thoughts, which are running, creating all that mental chaos. But it's your thoughts that create your emotional states. You're impatient, you're frustrated, you're high stress, which leads to, can you name some of your habits? So, for example, habits that normally pain points are I'm inconsistent, I procrastinate, dwelling on the past, or numbing out on vices. That's what I see often. What are yours?
Oh, procrastination, living in the past, um, not want to face, I guess, reality sometimes. I'll have my vices. I haven't smoked in years, and I started smoking the last 6 months and drinking more than
Cigarettes
I
or
ever.
weed?
Oh, I don't smoke alcohol or smoke weed. I have to have a CDL. I have to keep it. So I've never done drugs, but
Oh, smoking cigarettes.
yes,
Okay.
have a strong addiction to them all of a sudden.
Okay. Okay. So procrastination, living in the past, and now here's what's happening. Anytime we all have vices, right? This is not pointing fingers. We all have them.
I understand.
Some people are doom scrolling. That's a vice, right? When you're numbing
Yes.
out just doom scrolling. Others are shopping, travel, porn, food, alcohol, smoking. We all have a thing, but all of those vices are just trying to alleviate an emotion. So, because you're in high stress, frustration, impatience, you're seeking relief because we can't run on Mach 90. We're not built for that. And so, do you want to smoke?
No, I just feel like I have to.
Because you're seeking relief, right?
Yes.
But think
And I
about,
can't.
okay, since I feel like I'm talking all negative. Let's talk about some healthy outlets. So some people, I love a runner's high. I am a runner. I am a gym rat. So I have found quote healthy alternatives because they feel good. Meditation feels good. Running feels good. But I'm also very intentional with how I'm thinking and feeling because I know what I want. So for example, you have all these thoughts, you're living in these emotional states, which are then driving habits, procrastination, vices that you don't want to be doing, giving you unwanted results.
Yes.
So, the reason I'm sharing all this with you, if we reverse engineered this, which is really like the deep process I coach clients through, how to break this cycle, you have to change. Let's go back to this slide, the identity you operate from. So, the tip of the iceberg, the pain points you have shared are all driven by your thoughts, emotional states, which then create our behaviors and actions, creating results. Is that clear? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, think about it. If you want different results, you want to be I don't want to put words in your mouth. So why don't you tell me if you could paint a picture? You have a whiteboard in front of you, forget your current circumstances. What do you want?
Well, I'd like to be happy every day and not dread coming to work because I know something's going to go wrong and I just dread it every morning. Like, what's going to go wrong today? I like to just enjoy the day at work and get something accomplished and, actually be in a good mood for once,
Okay, be in a good mood.
and
You want to be happy. What about your health? What would that look like?
yeah, that'd be nice to be a little bit more healthy, that's for sure.
Okay, so healthier.
I can,
You want to get
yeah,
back into roping, so enjoy your
yes,
free time.
enjoy my free time, that's for sure. Because right now, I don't even want to do it because I'm just worried the phone's going to ring and something's going to be wrong. So just like I don't even worry about it anymore.
Okay, so let me just use that as an example. What I shared with you that life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. What we're thinking about in our emotional states create our outcomes. So you are living in states of worry, dread, what's going to happen next. You're preparing for the worst case scenario and experiencing it every day.
Yes.
Okay. So
7 days a week.
that's exhausting, Ryan. So here's what
Yes.
I'm sharing with you. But that identity, that version of you, it's what is creating your results. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm doing it to myself.
100%. But look, much of this is unconscious, meaning running on autopilot. And 95% of our day is run on autopilot because the body becomes addictive to those stress chemicals in the body. We become addicted to worry. We become addicted to pressure and urgency, even though it's not serving us. So if we flip the script, the version of you that is able to delegate because you trust others and you train.
You're
So
good. Go ahead.
the version of you that is happy, that is able to delegate, that's enjoying his free time, that's sleeping through the night would be a completely different identity, right?
Yes.
Because he wouldn't be living in the default of worry, frustration, impatience. He wouldn't be procrastinating and smoking and sleepless nights. That would be a completely different lifestyle, right?
Yes, it would.
So let me give you like how do you get from, hopefully you can see a gap. How you get from where you're at to creating that what I call version 2.0 is number one, it always comes down to awareness, which we've done some of that today. Naming the emotional states, naming the habits that aren't serving you. But then most importantly, it's getting so clear on, okay, despite who I've been and where I'm at, if health is important to you and you value that, if happiness is important and you value that, the question becomes, what do I need to change thoughts, emotions, and habits so that that lifestyle becomes my new default? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So from that, like, what's your aha or epiphany or takeaway of something like needs to change immediately?
I need to just rely on other people and trust them. I guess is what I need to do. Like,
But if you've practiced not doing that for decades, that's going to be
yes.
very hard to get started.
Well, what ruined me was when I worked for that gas company. We were on our own. You wouldn't see another employee for weeks. You'd be off on your own. So you're just driven. Hey, I've got to get, they give you a list of everything you had to get done. And you were just running as hard as you could all day long. And so they were really result oriented. So they wanted all this done and you're rewarded by all that you got done
Mm.
safely. But that's just what they wanted. So that's kind of the mindset I've had for the last 20 years. Just go, 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 go. Don't let up, you know.
Okay, so that's even more important. I didn't know you were in that role for 20 years. So think about that. The identity of self-reliance, pressure
Yes.
and urgency, needing to achieve drove you for 20 years and probably you accomplished a lot,
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
but at a cost.
Yeah. Big cost of just, relying on myself and no one else.
But also your health, your happiness, now your time. And the takeaway from that, even for me, like seeing at a high level, is for 20 years, you were thinking, feeling, and doing as one version of you. But that version, self-reliant, needing to get shit done mentality, worked until it's not working anymore.
Yes.
And the biggest thing here in your role as a COO, your role is not to be self-reliant. Your role is to manage, to delegate, to have structures and systems in place so you can have a life, right?
Yeah,
I mean, ultimately, because you're not here to burn out and die. That's not what
that's
you're
for
here for.
sure. Yes.
So I just want to offer this to you. You're at a fork, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. You're currently at a fork in the road. The fork is you can continue living by default, showing up as the same way, frustrated, impatient, self-reliant, exhaustion, and burnout, and nothing will change. Like that, we literally could pick up today and put it on 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, and that will just be your life. Or you can decide, and this is what I had to do for myself years ago when I wasn't happy, fulfilled, going through the motions Groundhog Day, to draw a line in the sand and say, this isn't working, and like make a committed decision to getting out of your own way. So that's where you're at. You're at a fork in the road. And in order to close that gap, it comes down to a decision. You have free will. This is your life. You get to do what you want. But if you want change, you have the power to create it. So let me open it up to you. What questions do you have on where you're at, on closing this gap, or like where do you go from here?
Well, my deal is too, like we hired some people to, because I do all of our billing and invoices and stuff like that. And I guess I have trouble letting go, letting somebody else do it because I'm just like, my trust. I'm like, gosh, if they screw something up, I'm going to have to go. Fix all of this. And that's what I think about if I let somebody else do it. And I've actually hired my daughter to start doing it. So she's about the only one I would trust to help me out with stuff. But I'm still having issues trusting her. Not that she's done anything, it's just me. Like I want it done correctly the first time, and I don't want to have to worry about, hey, this invoice was messed up, or hey, this was done. Can you help me fix this? I don't like things to be wrong. I want the cogs to be turning all day, every day, as smoothly as it can be. But a lot of it is, you know, my fault. My business partner, we kind of have two different ways of doing stuff. He's more laid back, and he's like, when you have this many moving parts, you're going to have stuff that breaks. That's how he faces it. When I hear something break, I just come unglued. Like, dang, that just ruined my whole day. I just can't let it go. It's, I don't know how to let it go.
Now, if we had more time, I would drill down. And what's really happening is you learn that in childhood. So, somewhere in childhood, you learned or had the mentality or you did fail or make a mistake, and it created such a traumatic jolt in you that you've been fearful since. The reality is, and your business partner is 100% correct. Business, you are going to have, quote, mistakes. That's how people learn. You are
Yes.
going to have failures. It is guaranteed. And so you have all these balls in the air living in a glass house, scared to fucking death that something's going to break. And I am here to tell you something is going to break and it's going to be okay. You're not going to lose everything.
Yeah.
But that mentality and identity and everything that's currently driving you is literally going to run you in the ground if you don't make some changes.
Gotcha. That's what he tells me every day. You got to let it go. I said, I can't. It's hard. You know,
It
I
really
mean,
comes down to, okay, let me ask you a different angle. Let me step outside the box. If you were overweight, if you were 100 pounds overweight, could you lose 100 pounds?
yes.
Oh, you could.
Quit eating and quit and get more exercise.
So you're saying with a change in habits and a change in lifestyle and different thoughts and emotions, because it's our thoughts and emotions that drive the binge eating and
Yes.
the sedentary lifestyle. You're saying that with different habits and thoughts and emotions that you could lose 100 pounds and be healthier, happier, more energy.
Yeah.
That was a metaphor.
Yep, I know.
So where you're currently at, think about it like that. Like you have 100 pounds to lose. And so it just comes down to making that choice. Do you want to lose the 100 pounds or do you want to continue and have another wake up call because you're not paying attention?
Yeah, I don't want another one.
Okay, so here I'll kind of sum it up and bring it full circle here. Based on what we've covered today, the objective of uncovering those unconscious patterns, which are 100% identity driven, You've named some of those pain points, the emotions, the frustration, the procrastination, the self-reliance. What questions do you have about how to get out of your own way or where you go from here?
Hmm. I would just like to know how to start trusting people, how to relax every once in a while without thinking about every. I mean, like I'll go feed the cows at night. That's about the only time I feel relaxed. I'll go put my phone down and go feed the cows and water them, and that's my relaxation in the evening because I just put it down and don't worry about anything for about an hour. That's it's just I don't know how you do that all day.
Well,
I
you
feel like I'm letting
can't.
somebody down if I don't. If I'm not working.
Yeah, so look, you're able to disconnect for an hour a day. That's the word I would use. You can disconnect. You can shut your phone off. You're present. You're feeding the cows. You're in nature, right?
Yes.
And no, you can't disconnect all day, every day. And that's not what you're meant to do. But what's your biggest block is you lack emotional regulation. And that's why you're so reactive. And because you're so dysregulated emotionally, that's what's driving the stories. I can't trust people and self-reliant. And ultimately, Ryan, you can't trust yourself. And what happens is we then project our pains and triggers on other people, but it really comes from internally. Because if you trusted yourself and you learned to regulate your emotions and stop being so reactive and just lighten, loosen the grip, number one, you'd have a completely different life and outlook and energy and like relief. But like, are you going to continue white knuckling your way through life or are you going to like get out of your own way? That's
They get
that.
out of my own way in a hurry.
You what?
I need to get out of my own way in a hurry.
Need to get out of my own way in a hurry. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
look, but at least you know and you're aware. So, something we could talk about on a side call is what that would look like if you want help or accountability, a blueprint on how to get there. But most importantly, hopefully you have some clarity today on what's not working and, like your next first step. Do you have some clarity?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap up this call?
No, I just appreciate you talking to me because I feel like I'm always in a dead end. So, you know, nice to have somebody to talk to that actually listens that can help me.